What's up YouTube, Jeff back again today with a very exciting Samsung video for you guys, and today we're going to be talking about the Galaxy Tab S11. Yes, this is the younger sibling of the Galaxy Tab S11 lineup. I'll have more to say about the S11 Ultra soon, but I think a lot of people want a more normal sized tablet, and the Tab S11 is the most flagship tablet you can buy in that traditional tablet category, you know, for reading, note-taking, etc. That Samsung offers. And so I wanted to spend some time on this device and let you guys know 5 things, well, maybe 6 things, there might be a bonus one in here, that you should know about this tablet after I've used it here for a little over a week. Before we get started, I do want to remind you guys, make sure you check out the website, sammyguru.com. We cover the latest Samsung news, tips, tricks, tutorials, and reviews. Of course, you guys can also get in our free mystery box program if you're going to be ordering a Galaxy S26 device. We did give away some free cases for the Tab S11 series. That program has ended. I'll be sending out that information to people who participated very soon for that launch. But all you have to do is tap on this for the S26 series, put in your phone number, your email, or both. You'll get a free case, screen protector, cleaning kit, 65-watt charger, phone stand, other randomly inserted goodies. All you have to do is order through our affiliate link on launch day in January 2026. We cover all the shipping costs and everything else. We use our affiliate revenue to do that and still give back to you guys and fund the great content that we do here on YouTube, on the website. Also, check out the new Sammy Guru channel, where I'll be doing a lot more Samsung update content you guys are used to as I continue to do more hardware here on my personal channel. Now, the very first thing that you need to know, and I actually made a post about this over on X, I set up a new Wi-Fi 7 Eero network and my new home that we just moved into, and I noticed that while the Tab S11 Ultra supports Wi-Fi 7, the Tab S11 base does not support Wi-Fi 7. So you'll notice right here, I'm at the Sammy Guru office, this only has Wi-Fi 6. It's very weird though, sometimes the Samsung networks, they show a 5 here when this is a Wi-Fi 6 network, and at home, I posted a screenshot of this over on X. In my Wi-Fi 7 network, this guy only connects up to 6E because it does not have Wi-Fi 7 capability. Now, a lot of people said that's not really a huge deal, and I would agree to a certain extent. It's not a huge deal right now because most devices can't even take advantage of Wi-Fi 7, and most people don't have a Wi-Fi 7 compatible network in their home or their office. But this is a tablet that's going to get 7 years of software updates, and so if you plan to keep this tablet for the long haul, which a lot of people probably do if they're spending $850 on a tablet, that's something to keep in mind, and I think it's something that people would like to have. I was surprised because I know the Tab S11 Ultra has it, and it's not something that's present here on the regular Tab S11. So if you care, Wi-Fi 6E is going to be your maximum in terms of Wi-Fi version capability. Up next, another thing that Samsung took away from the Tab S11 base model, the anti-glare display, which of course I've become very used to on my S24 Ultra and then S25 Ultra and my Tab S10 Ultra, honestly, because I used that tablet last year because there was no base model. You can see it's very reflective here, even though of course I got the bright studio lights, but this definitely does not have any sort of anti-glare display or anti-glare coating. Now that's becoming more and more common. Apple actually put it on all of their iPhone 17 devices, and I really think for an $850 tablet, Samsung could have included on the base model. This is another example of where it seems like they're just trying to distinguish between the Ultra and the base, try to get more people to go for the Ultra tablet, but like I said, when you're talking almost a 15-inch tablet, it's not usable for a lot of everyday tablet tasks. I mainly use my S11 Ultra and my S10 Ultra for watching media and playing games, and not much else. It usually sits on my desk. It's not something super portable. So keep in mind, you're not getting that anti-glare display, which can definitely be a bummer. I know it was for me when I found that out. Up next on the list of things that Samsung removed, this one actually is not available on the S11 Ultra or the Tab S11, and that is haptic feedback. There is no haptic motor on this device. If you look here, usually this menu is called sound and vibration, like on Samsung phones, because there's vibration, there's haptic motor. It's just called sound. There is no vibration here. You will not find any information about vibration. And of course, if you go into the volume settings, you only have sound or mute. There is no vibrate setting for the tablet. Now this is important because the Tab S10 series, the Tab S10 Plus, and Tab S10 Ultra both had haptic feedback. When you press the button to go back, you would get some haptic feedback, or when you do gestures. Now, was it very good? The answer to that is no, it was not. The overall actual feeling of it was quite hollow and it didn't feel that great, but it's still an option that was there on the previous generation that Samsung has now removed. Whether that bothers you or not is a completely different thing, but it is definitely something you should know if you're going to opt for either this tablet or for the Tab S11 Ultra because neither of those devices has the haptic motor. Up next, let's go with something very positive. And I've said some negative things, and I have a couple more interesting things to talk about that may be downsides, but One UI 8 is absolutely amazing on tablets. The brand new quick settings that drops down, the notification panel, the way they've taken more advantage of the space here in every way, including the settings menu. They've just done a really nice job of redesigning One UI 7, which was already a great base for phones, and making it take better advantage of this large screen. You see the pop-up widget here with the Now Brief, which looks amazing. It would be nice if they had that pop-up in line with the weather widget as well, but it does not. But I think there's a lot more work they can certainly do here. In addition, the brand new feature that they added to Notes and the new S Pen, that when you go in here, you can use the S Pen button and change between your styles. You can change between your Galaxy AI functionality, and you can also add other favorites in terms of brushes, colors, etc. directly just by pressing this pen button is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really glad that Samsung did add this. So the software, the intention behind this tablet is actually really nice. And like I said, that new desktop mode, you guys can see I have a nice desktop over here with a bunch of different applications. It's really nice when you're in this desktop mode, because when you're in desktop mode, basically you can utilize this just like a Windows computer, in that you've got windowing, minimization. It's really, really nice, and it's really easy to use. I've been using it with all my various apps, and it really does make you more productive. But that leads me to another thing that you should know, which is kind of a downside. Samsung did not release the flagship Pro keyboard with the Tab S11 series. Usually they release a slim keyboard, which they did release for this. It's usually not very good, and I wouldn't recommend getting it. It's like $150. It has no trackpad. The Pro keyboard is being redesigned and will be released probably in January of 2026, which is 4 months for a flagship tablet, which is crazy, because to take maximum advantage of these tablets, you really do need to have, again, to use this desktop mode with DeX, you really do need to have a keyboard. And I would really want one. They're basically going to redesign it to look more like Apple's Magic Keyboard on the iPads. That's what they kind of hinted at in our media briefing with them. So if you like that style, that's probably what we're going to get. But being 4 months off is crazy. I would definitely, though, hold off on buying the slim keyboard. There's a couple of other third-party companies that'll be making a keyboard soon, and I'll probably do a few reviews of those if people are interested. And the final thing to know about the base Tab S11 is that the bezels are a lot bigger. I think you guys can clearly see the bezels are a lot bigger on this one. If you've seen the Tab S11 Ultra, you know that it has very, very thin bezels, but this is for a reason, right? I mean, this is a tablet that's meant to be used for reading, for taking notes, for all of those sort of tasks. And probably, like I said, if you have the Tab S11 Ultra, you're going to be leaving that kind of on your desktop, just kind of sitting there for media. As I said, that's kind of how I use mine. But with this one, you're going to need to pick it up. You're going to need to grip it. You're going to need to hold it to read, to write, to do whatever. And since it's a lot lighter than the Tab S11 Ultra, it just makes sense to have bigger bezels. They don't potentially bother me, but they might bother other people. You might like that nicer design. But I find the Tab S11 Ultra very hard to use in my hands. It's a lot easier to use this one. The Tab S11 Ultra, I pretty much need the keyboard to dock it, which again is kind of a downside for the S11 Ultra as well, because the Pro keyboard also did not launch with the device. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Again, make sure you check out sammyguru.com. You guys can find all of our articles over there. Set us as a preferred source on Google if you want to see more great content from us. Check out the Mystery Box program if you're interested. Appreciate you guys checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.